If only I had spidey senses, so I can tell when something's wrong. Oh, and I'm set to protect this heart from breaking into pieces. Where's my hammer? Where's the shield? All the strength to carry the weight of the world. Fly high into the sky. I'll catch you if you fall. I'll catch you if you fall. Fly high into the sky. I'll catch you if you fall. I'll catch you if you fall.
Hey everybody, welcome to the latest episode of Snap Decisions, and of course I'm late. I knew I can explain it, but it would take too long and I don't want to bore anybody. But welcome to today's episode. Thank you all for coming out and listening to it or watching, however you may be doing so. I greatly appreciate it. Of course, this will be available on audio after I get done here. And yeah, if you're checking it out on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe, like the video, give me some comments and all that kind of stuff, because today's top 5 is right from a comment from a listener. So I know that the new cards and stuff are out here. I got to show you this because this is hilarious. So here is the premium mystery variant, right? The 2 years of Snap premium mystery variant. I just opened it. Now wait till I show you what it is. It's a Red Skull freaking avatar. That is what my life is like now. I'm getting avatars all the time because they would normally give you like a 700 gold variant, which I own all of them. So this kind of sucks. I'm getting like these crappy ass avatars all the time. But you know what today is? Today is Galactus Day, and I am going to pull that up right now in front of you. Now I know you can only see my phone, but it'll have to work. And there it is. There he is in all his glory. And yes, I'm going to push that button right there. And I'm going to make a very big purchase of this Galactus bundle if they decide to let me. And they're saying an error occurred. And that's not good. Here it goes. It's loading. It's loading. It's loading. What are we doing? What are we doing? Now they're making me wait. It's just, here we go. Okay, now I got to click it. My Face ID for Apple. Let's go. Come on. You know it. Okay, purchase was successful. There it is. Still loading. This is teasing me at this point now. This is like real. Okay, there's my 5,000 gold right there. There's my 2 spotlight keys right there. And oh my God, there he is in all his glory. The nullified Galactus is here. And yes, I got the avatar too. So that's going as my favorite avatar as well. And I got Galactus boosters. Oh, the second Snap anniversary bundles out today too. Very good deal. 1,200 gold, $9.99. You get the Deadpool thing where he's riding on the bullet dude. All right. So what do we got in here? Oh, the Alliance rewards. That's right. My Alliance is successful. We get the red web border from the Alliance today. So congrats to all my Alliance members that listen to the show. Good job, everybody. So we did get that. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going right down here. And I'm not going to split him yet. I'm going to make him my custom card because I have custom borders and stuff like that with him. I have my God Split Galactus border with the rainbow border that we got for the Splitmas thing, and I have purple crackle. So I'm going to go in, and I'm going to put the new card in there. All right, now this is the okay. Hold on. So this is the inked version. So this is what he looks like inked. So you can see the crackle there, and you can see what he looks like inked. Now I don't know that I like this one inked. I usually like inked stuff. I mean, it does look cool with the skull in the middle. Let's see if I can. It's hard to focus with the camera, but I mean, it looks okay. That's better. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool. I don't know that I want him inked though. I think I might want him gold. So the unfortunate thing is with the gold splits that I have, I do not have a gold purple crackle. Let me go to my gold splits real quick. Yeah, I have a gold with purple, but the only crackles I have in gold are red and yellow, or red and gold rather. I could put this one on there. Let's see. All right, let's see how. All right, let's see how he looks with the gold crackle split. All right, that's okay, so that's the gold border. Now, it's hard to see the yellow because of my green screen. It's going to just look like it's shining right through the middle of him. But that is what he looks like with the gold. I don't know, man. I have to see. I kind of like the color in this, so I don't know. I might just keep this one for now. And just make him and just have him be the gold. Maybe I'll even ask on Twitter, right? Maybe why not, right? Because Twitter knows. I joined a new social media thing, by the way, that's supposed to take the place of or could maybe take the place of Twitter if everybody kind of just decides that they just don't want to deal with Twitter anymore. But I'm gonna throw these up on Twitter and let people tell me which one is better. So if you're listening to this now, go over to my Twitter quick and let me know which one of these splits do you think is the better one. All right, so let me just post this quick. No, I don't want to start a space. What are you doing? What are you doing? All right, there we go. I'm just going to write he's here, and then I'll write Neil because, you know, it's Galactus. We always have to put Neil. And then I'll put which is better, inked or gold. There you go. That new thing that I'm on, by the way, is called Blue Sky. I'm on Blue Sky, which is a very close, like it's very close to Twitter. Very close to Twitter. It's very similar to Twitter, actually. Oh, the vault is opened up too. That's right. Let's hold on. We're doing this live, so it'll be a little weird. But let's go to the let's go to that new vault and check that out. Of course, Toxin's here too, which I'll yeah, why not? I'll just open that in front of you guys as well and let you know how that goes. I'm thinking I'm going on a trip to the Four Keys today. I'm kind of due. But where the hell's the vault? Where are you? Where's the vault at? Now you would think it'd be by your cards, but it's not. No, that's the metal shop. I don't want that. Where is the vault? Is today the day? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not the day for this. Because I would think it's not where the albums are. And it's not where the cards are. Because, yeah, I would think like this would be right on the front somewhere. No, it's just all the cards, avatars, regular cards, Deadpool bundle, mystery bundle. No, collect. No, I'm not seeing the vault. So there's nothing for the vault. I guess maybe today wasn't the day. I kind of thought it was, but today, I guess, is not the day of the vault to come out. Unless I wonder, hold on. Let me check to make sure there isn't a patch. And sorry for the video, people. It's going to be a little weird. No, there's no patch, no updates. Okay, so no vault. But I know that's coming up soon. I can't remember if I saw that it was the 28th. It could very well be. It might be the 28th. Let me see if it's in the let me see if it's in the patch notes. No, that's the patch notes. I was going to say it'd be in the roadmap, but I don't exactly know where the roadmap is. All right. Well, anyway, yeah. So no community thing for the cards as yet. So I guess that's coming. All right. Let me see how long this is going to take me here. We'll do this. How long this is going to take me to get my card today. All right. Ready? Spotlight key. Here we go. There it is. Blinking in all its glory. Spotlight. Spotlight. Jeez. Spotlight key number 1. Here we go. And I get Mobius and Mobius already owned. There's the whopping 1,000 credits. So that's a crappy ass way to start. All right. Number 2. Now, these were the 2 I was awarded with the Galactus bundle. I got Elsa Bloodstone. I knew it. I knew it. These variants, we talked about this on, I'll tell you about it a bit later, but we talked about this last night. Myself and Nick the Greek Geek talked about this. These are like not even great variants. They're just not. They're not even good. They're not even really good. I'm going to waste all these keys on all these lousy variants. Watch. Here we go. Okay. Thankfully, I got Toxin on the 3rd key. So I'm all right with that. At least I didn't have to get the Zabu, which the Zabu to me is not good either. It looks like a cartoon Zabu. Sean Galloway, I'm sure he's a very good artist. And I'm never going to say anything bad about anyone's art. It's just, it's not my thing. It just looks like a cartoon type thing. So I spent 3 keys. So I'm at 7. So I spent the 2 from Galactus and I spent 1 other one. So I'm at 7. So I do have Toxin. That is the card for today. We're going to talk about Toxin in a little bit. But I do have Toxin now, so I do get usually every single card. I am collection complete, so I always get all the cards. But I do have Toxin in my collection now. So whether I'll play with him is a whole nother thing. That is a whole nother thing because I am not a bounce guy at all. Not a move guy, not a bounce guy. So whether I'll play with Toxin, I don't know. All right. Let's get into the nitty gritty here. I am part of the Snap Judgments network of podcasts, where you can see that wonderful logo that's right there, made for me by Lauren Whatevs, who is part of her own awesome podcast. But yes, the turntable in front of the tribunal head is brilliant, and I absolutely love it. And there they are. So how can she snap? Every Sunday you can hear those guys. The Kid and No Big Deal. Tremendous show. Wonderful show. Funny show. Love those guys. Snap on this every single Friday. That is It's Just Read, Benjamin Roller, and of course Lauren Whatevs do an awesome job. Didn't get to listen to the latest one. It's long. It's like 2 hours, so I have to have a long car ride for that one, but I will for sure. I've listened to every episode so far and they just keep getting better. And then of course the father of our podcast team, that is Glazer and Roy, and the Snap Judgments podcast itself every single Saturday. Check it out. It's good stuff. Your one-stop shop for all your podcasting needs. So, okay, so let's get into my first topic. And my first topic today is a wrap-up on high voltage. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about my likes. I'm going to talk about a few dislikes and overall what I thought of the mode. Now, I went into it. I don't know what had me thinking. And I completed it. So I have the Iron Man variant. I have everything. I don't know what had me thinking. For whatever reason, my old brain thinks is that I was thinking that this was going to be a, I for some reason thought it was going to be random cards. I don't know what made me think that, because they've never done anything where you just get random cards. So I thought for some reason that this was going to be random cards. Well, that was obviously not the case. You played with your own decks. But I went in it with that thought in my head, which I don't know what gave that to me. They never, they never gave an idea that that would be the case. So I don't know what made me think of that. But I went into it with that idea, and then I saw that, no, you use your own decks. And then I saw that there was a banned card list, which, of course, I knew Galactus was going to get on there, because there was no way they were not going to have that happen, because you can't blow up, you can't blow up lanes and then have just one lane be a fight over to the end, because it's just not fair. So there were 3 cards that were banned. I forget the other 2. Magic, because you don't want to extend the game. And I forget what the third one was. But anyway, so I started playing, and I didn't have any decks prepared per se. So I was just playing like some of the decks I was playing on ladder, which didn't end up working out well at all, because what ended up happening is a lot of people were playing like big on reveal combo decks, which why not, right? I mean, you could play like a Black Panther, the Wong, the Black Panther, that whole thing with Zola, you know, and just try to get the biggest wombo combo you could possibly get. And really, that's what the mode ended up being, was just that. It was who can just get the biggest wombo combo out, and is whoever wins. But here's the thing. Winning in this particular mode doesn't matter, and it doesn't count. It's yes, you win, and you win what? 20 volts if you win. It's like, who cares? The biggest thing about this was just completing the missions. That's what's going to get you the amount of money, or the amount of volts you're going to need to get the cards and to move up the ladder. The little 20s that you will get a piece, because I had done the missions, and then I'm sitting there just playing and doing 20, 20, 20, 20. I'm like, wow, this isn't moving the needle at all. Like, this is not. So it was very much about the missions, which is fine. I mean, I like the mode. I like the fast pace. I love the fast games. I thought that was neat. I love the fact that it didn't matter if you won or lost. I enjoyed the decks that people were playing, and I'm like everybody else, I'm sure, did watch some of the content creators to see exactly what they were playing. And I took some ideas from those, and that's how I ended up getting through. And for the most part, I think I ended up getting through it with like a Black Knight type deck. I think I want to credit Tucker, because I think it was his deck that he had out, and one of the first ones I saw when I went on Twitter that day. And I ended up playing that deck for the majority of the time that I ended up playing it, and it got me through. I got the Agony card, and I got the Iron Man variant also. So, and it only took me literally like 4 days. I didn't spend any gold, no gold at all. I got through it in about 4 days. So it was perfect for what it was. It was very fast paced. I like that. I like the random energy. I thought that was fun. I like the combos. I like seeing what people came up with. But now let me get to my dislikes. So the dislikes, first of all, I want to say, and we'll get this off of here. There's the Iron Man variant, by the way. Kind of cool. I like, people couldn't tell whether he was getting his armor on or off. I think the armor is flying to him, kind of like it did in the Iron Man 3 movie. And I think because you see the glove like going towards him. I don't think it's all coming off. It could be exploding off of him. I don't know. It could be either way. But that's gold with the white crackle. That one I just got from Splitmas. Mary Splitmas, by the way. And then, of course, there it is. There's my board up on top, and the completion board. So my dislikes are few, but I think they're important if they ever decide to have this again. First one. I only had to come across this once, and it infuriated me. Infuriated me when I did. What it was a deck made its way out to stop you from playing more than one card a turn. The Viper Electro combo. Electro needs to be banned if they ever bring this out again, because that is completely and utterly obnoxious. Like, you're gonna do that. Like, I don't know. It's hard for me to know whether to fault the player for doing this or whether it's to fault anybody who brought it to a player's attention, because that shouldn't exist in a game like this. That's ridiculously bad. Now, there were people playing Clog, which I didn't necessarily agree with either, because I think that like the obnoxious stuff shouldn't be in fun modes. Like, just shouldn't be. Obnoxious stuff shouldn't be in a fun mode like this. You're not playing to win. You're not on ladder. It doesn't matter if you win. You're not even playing Conquest, where it matters if you win, because if you want to get a ticket. You're not even at that level. This doesn't matter. Nothing matters if you win here. You're getting 20 stupid volts if you win a game. So for someone to do that and to play that combo, and look, I get it. There's players that play games to win no matter what. no matter what. They're people who like to watch the world burn. They just want to win and win and win and win and never lose. And they'll do anything to do that. Whatever, it's fine. I was never a game player like that, but listen, I get it. I know a lot of people are, and that's fine. Everybody is to each their own. That they're their own person. But for that to come out and that get in the wild, and then people were doing that, that's like horrible. I don't think I could feel good myself playing that deck. I don't. The fact that now I'm barring my opponent from getting cards out for the next 2 turns, or you're making them have to forfeit, is ridiculous. Like, come on, man. Like, this was made as a fun mode, designed as a fun game mode to play. There's no place for that in this. Like, I'm sorry, and I get it. Like, a lot of people who play Clog tend to like that Electro thing too, because they're playing Viper. So I get it. And Clog players, look, TLSG loves Clog. You know, there's a lot of players out there that like Clog. And it was huge. It was big. It was winning, you know. But that Electro needs to be banned. And I think the other card that needs to be banned as well is Eliath. Because, again, once people started catching on that a lot of people were doing the funny, like, Wong combo with Zola and all that, or whatever they were playing with Wong, they wanted to shut it down, so they started playing Eliath. I personally don't think either one of those cards should be in the game or in the game mode. Neither one. I don't think either one belongs in there. Strategy and all that on ladder, go for it. That ladder strategy is a completely different thing. You're gaining things by playing that on ladder. So if that's what you are doing, then absolutely 100% go for it. But other than that, you know, that neither one of those cards belong in this mode. So that's really my only complaint. The rest of the format, maybe the missions should be a little quicker. I know it says refill now. You can see that button up there, and you gotta pay the gold to do that. So that is what it is. But there's no need for you to spend gold. You have a week to do this, which was more than enough time to get the cards. And so I think overall it's a success. Overall, I think it was a fun game mode, and I think that maybe they will look into bringing it or something like it back in the future. But like I said, the only thing I would say is no combos where you're going to shut down your opponent from playing more than one card. That's ridiculous. And no Eliath, I would say, would be 2 I would have joined the ban list going forward, because that's just obnoxiously bad. So, but yeah, so anyway, yeah, look, I had fun with it, and I got my stuff from it, and yeah, I think, like I said, I finished up in like 3-4 days. So anyone that's still playing, good luck, and hope you all get your cards. All right, there is Agony. Agony is a 1/2. And after you play this, a card here, merge this with it. I'll be honest, haven't really played it much at all. I don't know if this is going to be my kind of card. I've seen people playing it with like Symbiote, or not Symbiote Spider-Man, the Scarlet Spider, using it in his lane, making it a little bigger so that you get a split that's a 7 instead of a 5, you know. I've seen other people try it in Destroy. I think Regis Kilbin tried it in a Destroy deck, that you can put it on the Deadpool. But from what I saw from him playing it, it didn't look like it made Destroy any better doing that. So it's a Series 4 card. You could kind of tell why it's a Series 4 card. That's where it belongs for sure. This is not a game-breaking card in any way. It's not Cassandra Nova, nowhere close. It's a good card, but if I ranked it like on a scale of 1 to 5, like we do for our cards for the month, this would be ranked pretty low. It's okay. It's okay. It's not amazing, and it's not a card that I would certainly put in a lot of decks. But yeah, it's okay. I mean, I could stick it in a lane and put it in with a Galactus, which would make it a 7, so or an 8 rather. So, but whatever. It's not a great card. So, but you know what? It's free. So it's a free card, and that's a good thing. All right, so that is the wrap of High Voltage. That's what my final thoughts were on the High Voltage mode. And next month we'll be getting Deadpool's Diner back, so that will be coming up in November. And yeah, so there you go. So that is my that is that. All right, time for the week in Snap in the Meta Report. Let's move on, and we're going to show you some decks. So we're going to talk about some decks here, and the first one I've been playing a lot of this past week is this card. So this is, of course, with the new Scorn, and she is really good. She is good in this deck. This deck here came from No Big Deal, who I believe got it from Dexter. I think that's what he said. So Dexter was playing this. I was trying a bunch of different decks here, but none of them were really doing very well. But this one is really good for a couple of reasons. The Grandmaster comes in very, very handy for a doubled Gambit at the end of the game, maybe when you have the Gambit sitting in the lane and you could just play Grandmaster at the end of the game. Also comes in very good for a double Blade on a Scorn, or a double Colleen Wing on a Scorn, or, you know, a double discard on the Apocalypse, anything you might think of, but it's really good in this. And then, of course, the other cards are, it is Scorn, Blade, Morbius, Grandmaster, Colleen Wing, Gambit, Corvus Glaive, Dracula, Hellcow, Proxima Midnight, MODOK, and Apocalypse. The Dracula is a funny one because I find having a hard time playing it. I don't know why. I just don't end up playing it as much as maybe I even should, because you want the Dracula down, because a lot of times the Dracula is going to end up taking a really, really big Scorn, which could even get up bigger sometimes than the Apocalypse does. And you could always play Apocalypse on turn 6, and then he just gets the big Scorn in the Dracula. So you have two big cards that are getting it. But for whatever reason, I didn't find myself getting Dracula a lot or playing it a lot. The Proxima Midnight is just an amazing card for this deck and for discard, because she will go into a lane that is locked. So a locked lane like the Sanctum or places that you can't get into normally with a card, she will go into. And that's a big 4/7 going into that lane that you're more than likely just going to win. And then you just have to focus on other lanes. So, but yeah, this was fun. I'm not a huge proponent of this card, but this was fun. And I think was probably the best list that I've seen for Scorn, or that I've tried. So, all right. Next up, we have, I was playing this War Machine deck a little bit. This never works for me, ever. This is the one, the obnoxious one, that I think is going to get nerfed. I don't know exactly how they're going to do it. It could be in the way of doing War Machine again, where maybe he goes down to like a really bad number, like maybe a 4/4. I heard Lambie mentioning that on Kim and KM Best's pod, or maybe it goes down to a 4/5. I don't know. But this, I think, is going to get nerfed because, again, like I said before, this is one of those decks that Second Dinner doesn't like, because people, you storm and then they can't play, and they don't like that. So I'd be kind of surprised if we don't see this get touched this coming Thursday in the OTAs, which we have OTAs, by the way. But this one is Nebula, Zabu, Ebony Mom, Madam Web to move stuff around. Goose, Storm, War Machine, Crossbones, Cull Obsidian, Legion, Doctor Doom, and Infinite. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. You're gonna want to Storm. You're gonna want to play War Machine, and then you can play anywhere they can't. And then you're gonna, if you have the Legion, you're gonna Legion the Storm lanes, and they can't play a card. So, and you can. So it's a nasty combo if they get it off. But I never do. I never see it. I never end up. How about that Storm too? Oh my gosh, that Storm is that's the one that you got from the Conquest rewards, and that's could. Storm has so many good variants, but this one's really, really cool. Very, very cool variant. All right, so next we've got Agent Hawk. So this is the one I was playing for the weekend missions. This is Silver Sable, Korg, Nico, Grandmaster, Agent Venom, Cassandra Nova, Mystique, Black Widow, Rockslide, Absorbing Man, Iron Man, and Darkhawk. So you can Mystique the Darkhawk, you can Mystique the Iron Man. Absorbing Man is just good to get another Cassandra going, or another Black Widow going. Grandmaster repeats stuff too. So you're just repeating a lot of plays here. Silver Sable can get repeated with a Grandmaster, Korg as well. So you're just filling up the lane. And if you end up playing against RSM, you're just going to outright destroy them. 2 Cassandra Novas and you just win against RSM. So I don't see a lot of it anymore. Doesn't mean it's not out there, but I saw some of it in high voltage. People are playing it in there. But trying to get, of course, that even more energy, you know, the extra energy misers that want even more energy than they really need. But yes, so Agent Hawk is what this one is called. And it's a pretty good deck in the meta right now. All right, so those are the 3 decks that I was generally playing. I wasn't playing a whole lot of ladder. And I told you guys, you know, when you get to infinite, I kind of lose the desire to play it anymore. I got my infinite back, my card back, and all that stuff. I'm at like 30K. I don't feel the need to rise up anymore. I don't feel the need to. I'm not going to be the guy who's going to be the top 100, top 200, top 1,000 player. I'm just not. I don't play enough, and I don't have incentive, maybe is a good word, to say that makes me want to play it. There's nothing else other than a rank, and I personally don't. I don't really care about my rank. So yeah. So I haven't really played a whole lot of ladder. So that was kind of why I was glad the high voltage mode came out. Now I have to kind of get my conquest stuff going so I can finish the rewards in that. But I don't play a lot of ladder once I hit infinite. So, which, to be honest, I'm very glad I did when I did, because I am not going to want to play ladder with this meta coming up from the card we're going to talk about today. Do not. I am not a bounce fan, not at all, and I don't want to be a part of a meta that's bounce meta. I remember the last one, and I did not like it at all. It was obnoxiously bad. It was so hard to stop and so hard to beat, and I don't like playing bounce, so I'm not going to do a beat 'em, join 'em thing and play it. I'm not a fan, and so yeah, so I'm kind of glad that I did hit infinite, and I don't need to worry about playing all the bounce decks that I think are going to end up coming out of today. All right, so this is an album, of course. I completed this one right off the bat. This is the Venom album, Venom in My Veins. What a cool card this is. This could be one of the coolest card effects we've got in this game yet. The Venom is literally pounding his hands on the table when you get to the point where you have the animation. I was shocked to see it. I didn't know what kind of animation they were going to give it. And then I'm looking at him like, oh my God, he's literally pounding the table. That's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. And as you can see, I completed it like I did the Carnage one. I didn't have all of the variants. I don't have the Wrestling Belt Venom. I don't have the Kim Jacinto Venom. And that newer one, which was in Spotlights, and the couple Impeachment Momokos is in there too. I don't have those. So I didn't have a lot of the OG ones, but I had enough bonus variants of him to be able to get the to be able to complete the album. And of course, I got the reactions and stuff too. So yeah. So that, I mean, look, when you have a lot of cards for a certain thing and they do these kind of things, or they give you the reactions for them, you know, it's cool. And the Venom, there he is. I mean, him banging the silverware on the table, just priceless. I thought that, and somebody noticed, and I didn't see this either. Spider-Man is bringing him dinner. That's you can see the blue and the red back there. So you can see Spider-Man underneath the little number 3. So that was kind of neat. That not something that I had seen or noticed prior. And of course, he's eating. You know, he wants to eat some brains. He wants to eat some brains. So, but yeah, it's a cool card. I really like that. And how about this one? This came as a surprise. This was I didn't notice it until I saw some other people getting it. This was a Discord mission, which I didn't even know that you go on. I didn't even know there was game missions on Discord. I had no idea it was on there. So yeah, I had no idea, but you had to open your Discord, and you had to have the Discord open, but you had to have the app. Now can only be done on a computer. You can only get this on a computer. I don't know if it's still going on or not for those that missed it. This is the Iron Spider. Yes? No, I keep saying that. It's not. This Iron Spider is the red and yellow. This is Spider Armor. Spider Armor. Variant, which this is badass looking. Like how his eyes are lit up blue and he's on the top. Why does he have swords? Yeah, I think he does. What the hell does he have swords for? That's kind of weird. I don't remember him having swords. I remember this character from the comics, but how cool is that? The red web border with the gold background looks amazing. He looks good ink too. I did ink him as well. But yeah, this is a really, really cool variant. So it's kind of neat. All you had to do was go on your PC. You had to open Discord, but again, you had to open the app. It wouldn't work if you just opened it in a browser. You open the app, do the go in and select the mission, and you'll see it says Marvel Snap, and it has a picture of him there. And then you had to play the game for 15 minutes, around 10 or 15 minutes after you open it. And then after that, you completed the mission, and then you could just go back in. They give you a code, and you put in the code to your Snap account, and then you got the card. So pretty cool. Nice little surprise of another card we weren't necessarily expecting. But then maybe this was done as something for their anniversary as well. I don't know, but they didn't really announce it until more recently before it came out. But this is a really cool variant. And all right, let's look at some of my variants. Besides that one, it was a look at something I got this week, and there is Agatha. So Chibi Agatha. That was the only one I needed, and honestly, this is, I think, the only super rare that Agatha had or has. There may be one or two more, but this was the only one to start with that was a super rare, and I never got it. And it finally appeared in my shop, and I was able to get it. So, and I, of course, used my ink and with the pink border, which I think looks really cool. But this is a fun one. Chibis aren't my thing. I don't like them per se, but this one's kind of cool. You know, you have this is obviously the Agatha from the Disney Plus series too, with the long dark hair and stuff like that. So yeah, kind of cool. But yeah, so now I am Agatha complete for an Agatha album whenever Character Mastery comes out. Human Torch, this I opened from a cache. I skipped this when it was in my shop. It was a 700 gold one, but I skipped it. I don't play with Torch much. He's really only used in Phoenix Force and Move, and I'm not a fan of either one. The Phoenix Force I play more than Move maybe, but it is kind of cool, like very cartoonish. It's called the Hero variant. But I like it. It reminds me of the old Fantastic Four animated series from back in like the 70s and stuff, with him in there. But yeah, so pretty cool variant. I kind of like it. But now again, I'm 700 gold variant complete, so I'm gonna get stuck with crappy avatars. This is of course, the Iron Man variant I showed you earlier from High Voltage, gold border, and then of course I have the Distressed Red. I think that kind of looks cool. On Iron Man, you know, the distressed red border on this. And then, of course, you have the white crackle. This Carnage, this was on the collection track, I believe. And then, of course, I don't have a lot of Carnage splits. So I don't have any gold or inked for Carnage. I don't use him a lot. I'm not a big Destroy player. So yeah. And then Magneto, this is, of course, the reward for the split miss, which I know has caused a lot of controversy. A lot of people didn't think it was enough. We got a rainbow border, and we got the Magneto, the X-Men 97 Magneto, which is cool, you know, right from the cartoon when he's using his powers there, and you see that little circles and stuff coming out of his hands, and the metal there up in the air. A cool variant. It's a very cool variant. And yeah, we were given this reward. I know that a lot of people are still fighting to try to get a little more compensation for this, because since so many people use their boosters up and use a lot of credits. So, you know, we'll see what happens from that. I kind of think they're standing by it, because someone did ask one of the devs if this was the only compensation, and they said yes. So I think they're kind of standing pat. We'll have to see how that goes. But it might be another good fight that might be occurring to try to get that. So we'll see how it happens. All right, some bundles we have coming up. This is from November into December already. Crazy. This is Heimdall. This is $14.99. New avatar, 1,800 credits and 700 gold. Again, low gold, high credits, like I was talking about in the last show. The bundle value is good at 261. The currency value is good at 178, but the currency value is good because you're getting a lot of credits, a lot more credits than gold. So, And I don't know. When you get cards that are in bundles that really are a niche card that very seldom do people play Heimdall unless you're a move player. And if you're not, you're probably really not going to want it. So there's really no real need to get it unless you're a fan of move. I mean, it is cool, but it's not something I'd be interested in. I don't play move, so yeah, you consider, do you want the 1,800 credits? I think for the most part in there is what you have to decide on that. Then there's one November 6th to November 11th. This is Sword Master, the recently buffed, changed Sword Master. This is in no way worth it. In no way. Card is not played much, number one. I don't care about boosters and I don't care about the avatar. Card is not played much at all. And you're getting 4,000 credits for 3,000 gold. And gold is at a premium right now and hard to get. No way I would spend that on this. There's no way. I don't think, and being honest, I don't think there's a lot of players out there at all that are going to get this bundle. To me, I think I don't care what the bundle value says. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to buy this at all unless you are just, unless you're a person like Super Tech God that just gets all the variants. There's no way I would waste gold on this. No way. Then we have APOC, Peak Mutant Performance. This is going from November 7th to the 13th, $24.99. Apocalypse, Quiet Council Apocalypse. Kind of looks cool. Now this one, the gold is worth it because the gold is 3,000 for this at 24. So that's pretty good, especially, recently what it's been. Bundle value is 199%. Currency value is 150. So this one, and Apocalypse is being played now in discard quite often. So it's not a card that's just going to kind of sit there and never be played. So this one way better than that last one for sure, especially the gold value. Next one here, we got 12th to the 19th of November. This is Dracula bundle. This is 50. You get the Dracula card, the new avatar. You get 3,000 tokens and 3,500 credits. It's saying the bundle value is good at 189. Currency value is good at 164. But again, I would tell you that unless you really want the credit, the tokens, then avoid it. Again, at 3,500 credits is a good amount, but unless you really are looking for those 3,000 tokens, I would probably pass on this one. And there are a lot of cool Dracula variants out too. So, all right, Feeling Blue. November the 13th to the 18th. This is Blue Marvel. $29.99, 200% bundle value, 167 currency. He comes with 3,500 credits and 1,200 gold. Again, a lot more credits, less gold. So again, you look at it from a standpoint of number one, do you play Blue Marvel? He's played in Iron Patriot decks. He's played in Zoo. Really the only two places off the top of my head I can think of. I did see a negative deck playing Blue Marvel. But again, to me, Blaze One, how are you? Didn't think I'd make the live show. Just go home. Cool. Yeah, it ran a little late. I had to start later because I was on. I was doing some other stuff, so it started a little later. So yeah, welcome, dude. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. Okay, so again with this one, I mean, unless you really want the card and you're a player of Blue Marvel and you want the credits, and it's another one I could probably say to skip on. So. And then we got Solar Sovereign. It is a Sunspot bundle. This one's $9.99. You get 1,700 credits, which is a good amount. The card itself, the avatar, and the boosters for $10. So 294% bundle value, 170% currency value. So this is, I guess, pretty good for 1,700 credits and stuff like that. So not a bad one. I have a ton of Sunspot variants though. So. And then Mechanical Madness. This is Ultron, November 19th to the 24th. $29.99, 195% bundle, 154% currency. And of course it is Ultron, the avatar, and 2,000 collector's tokens, 1,200 gold. So that's probably better than the last one because you're getting tokens. And you're also getting a decent amount of gold for that. So And then we got Kyera, who right now is only played in Zoo. So again, another card that, and that's what's weird here. Like, this is a big one. This is a big bundle. Why put Kyera in a bundle when you know that right now the only time or place you see this card is in Zoo? That's the only place you see this card is in Zoo. And so I don't know. And this is 75, 299, 157. So good numbers. But again, you know, it's the majority of it is credits, 8,000 credits, 3,000 gold, not bad, but not great. And a card that is probably not going to be played. So not a choice I would have had to put a card in a bundle for that one. And then we have weird flex, but okay. This is Ronin. Ronin variant and avatar boosters and 3,500 credits, 237 bundle value, 175 currency value. And again, a lot of credits. If you need the credits, I guess I personally wouldn't get it. And again, Ronin is also a card that is not played much. Every now and then you'll see those decks that'll run the Sentinel Master Mold that run Master Mold and have him and Darkhawk in the same deck. But other than that, it's another card that's just not played. It's just not played. So next one we have, this is a Squirrel Girl and Stature bundle. And you get 3,000 gold boosters and 2 avatars, and you get both of the cards. So, and I cut off the price, so I don't even know what this one is. But you're getting 2 cards, so I'd imagine it's probably a little more expensive. This to me looks like it might be 50. But again, Squirrel Girl is Zoo. Stature, Darkhawk or Black Bolt Stature really isn't played much. So again, not necessarily one that I think is going to attract a lot of people. Ice in her veins. You want to talk about a card that's not going to attract a lot of people. This must be the month of just putting cards in bundles that they want to see played, because these certainly are not. White Queen is not played at all. Now, maybe some of these cards will get buffed. White Queen has needed a buff forever. So maybe some of these cards will get buffed before this happens, which we have an OTA coming up in just a couple of days. So maybe this card will get buffed, which could happen. So maybe that's why they have her in here. It is a cool looking White Queen. Don't get me wrong. And she's a cool character. It has a spotlight cash key, a neon blue border, and then the card itself. But it is 4,500 gold. And again, I caution, don't spend your gold, because it's going to be hard to get. So don't spend it if you don't need to. And then I think this is my last one. Yeah, this is the last one. Last one is a Thanos bundle. This is 50. Thanos and Avatar, 7,500 credits, so a ton of credits again, and a neon purple border along with the boosters. So again, it says it's good. Bundle value is 378%, 150% currency value, but it's for a Thanos card, which I was hoping would not be in. I saw this variant advertised for coming up or coming soon in the data mines, but it seems like these big bads now are getting thrown into bundles. Which kind of stinks, but yeah, you know, it's a cool variant with the red eyes and stuff like that. So yeah, it's kind of cool. But I wouldn't. I don't know. Unless you want all those credits, 7,500 credits is a lot. Unless you need them, again, not something I would definitely look into. Okay, so that is my weekend snap. That's the meta. Again, the meta I can't really tell you too much about. What I'm seeing there is all over the place. I've been seeing that the Agent Venom decks with Kitty and Thena. I've been seeing a lot of move decks. I've been seeing Destroy, like usual. Again, it's kind of all over the place. I've seen some Misery decks, some Scream decks, and stuff like that still. So. But again, I just haven't played a lot of ladder to be able to know or give you that information. So, all right, so let's move on. We're going to go to the top 5. It is time for my weekly top 5. And this one was given to me by a listener of the show, commented on the video. Let me Let me see if I can pull that up so I can properly give them credit for suggesting it. Let me go to my videos really, really quickly here. And let me look at the comments. This is no, I don't want to play it. Stop it. And look at these comments here. Oh, it's Gen X 21 underscore Chiz, CHIS at Gen X X21 underscore Chiz. So this was his recommendation. So this is the top 5 cards. Top 5 Venomized cards in the game. So top 5 Venomized cards. And now I'm going by what they look like. So top 5 Venomized cards is my top 5. So number 5 is my boy. It's ManThing, most diverse meta in a while. Yeah, it is very diverse. I agree with you. ManThing is my number 5. I kind of dig this one, although it doesn't look a hell of a lot like ManThing. But I like it. I like it how he's got the teeth in the middle and the big tongue coming out. So it's almost like it just took over his whole entire body. And then, of course, the lava dripping off his fingers and everything like that. It's a very, very cool split. And I've looked at that inked. It looks pretty cool inked. I've done it inked. Biased, yeah, a little bit. A little bit. This one you don't see around much, though. I haven't seen this one played at all. I've seen ManThing played, but I have not seen this variant played. So I don't know if that many people got it. When ManThing came out, he wasn't a card that really, got everybody excited. I'm a big fan, of course, but it wasn't a card that got a lot of people excited. So I don't know that many people bought it to begin with or used caches and stuff to get it. But this was the variant that was in with him for that month. And I had to get it because he got me, But yeah, that's he comes in at number 5 just because I think it looks so damn cool. Number 4, Venomized Thanos. This is the artwork on this is just sick, dude. Sick. I couldn't wait to split this one when I got it because this just looks so cool with the stones coming out like they're dying, like they're sharp fragments on the end of the gauntlet. The gauntlet's also shaped more like a war gauntlet, almost like one with like a circle at the end. So I like that. The spikes coming out of that too. And then of course him with the fangs and stuff. It's just such a cool variant and done very, very, very well. I remember when this one came out and it was one of them that I was waiting because I didn't get it in my shop right away. The shop was a little bit different back then and I didn't get it right away. And then I saw some other people had it. I'm like, what the hell, man? I'm like, why didn't I get this? And then all of a sudden it came in my shop the next day. But yeah, man, this is absolutely sick. Mad Titan Venomized. So, all right, next up we have, oh man, this is one of my best variant splits that I've ever seen. I mean, you can't get better than this. This is the Jeff variant, the Venomized Jeff, which is basically an orca. He's not a shark here. This is him. This is Jeff as an orca. So he is a killer whale. And oh my God, man. Ink this guy. The blacks, the whites popping out, the little venom goo coming off of him on the top against the white background. And I even put the black matte border on this. And then I have white crackle as well. I mean, God split. This is an absolute God split. And I will never play another Jeff. I will never play another Jeff. I don't think they can make a cooler one than this. Plus, not to mention, I'm a big fan of orca. I love whales. I always did, even as a kid, loved going to see whales in aquariums and stuff and zoos. I love whales, and I love the orca whales were one of my favorites. I think they're just beautiful creatures. Never seen any of them up close or anything like that in like the ocean or whatever. But yeah, this is just an amazing split. So yeah, that's my number 3. We're going to 2. Oh man, this is right from a comic. The Red Hulk, Venomized Red Hulk. He just looks sick, dude. Like the motorcycle and everything like that with the hook. He has the big hook in his hand. He's basically Ghost Rider in this. Ghost Rider took Red Hulk over in this version of the comic, and that's what he. But this is amazing, man. This is absolutely amazing. Come to think of it now, maybe I'm wrong. This might not be Venomized. This might not be Venomized. Because that is Ghost Rider Hulk. I don't know that this is Venomized. It might not be. So there you go. Well, I messed up. This may not be a Venomized card, but I'm gonna go find out. It might not be, because I think this was Ghost Rider that was inside his body for this. I do not think it was. No, it says it is. Okay. No, it is. It says right on top, Venomized Rider variant. So it was the Venomized Ghost Rider that took him over in the book. I haven't read the book in a while, so you could see it right now. It's not going to show because of my green screen, but it says Venomized Rider variant right on top. So yeah, so he is. So there you go. I was right. But you can see him holding on to the little dude up in the right-hand side and everything too. So he's just ginormous. But this was in more recent books of Ghost Rider, which, by the way, are a very fun read. That's a comic I'd recommend to you if you're into kind of horror stuff, because they got a little into horror with these books. And then even the Cosmic Ghost Rider, who is basically Frank Castle, and he's out in space. That was an amazing read. But yeah, the new Ghost Rider, even the new Hulk. I read the new Hulk today. Man, the Hulk is a horror book. It literally is a horror book. There's like all kind of graphic images of like body parts and everything laying around in there. Like they definitely went back to horror comics. I kind of dig that. But the Hulk is definitely a horror book, but this one was just badass. And when I split it, this looks amazing gold, by the way, which I have here, but it also looks so cool inked. And my number one, wait, how about those sound effects for you? Number one, that's not number. Yeah, I'll see, these weren't in order. That's not. I will say this. Hela was my number one. This is the first Venomized variant I ever got. So I guess she could be number one. Again, these 5 can be turned around in any order. I'd probably have to say that Jeff is the number one of all of them, though. But Hela, and she's really one of the few. I don't have hardly any variants for her. I do not have any. Yeah, Hela with the white. Yeah, there is that little white thing coming out of a very weird part of her body there. Yeah, that's yeah. What does that even belong to? Like it doesn't even make sense. Like what? Yeah, no, but it's cool, and I would love to get the movie version of Hela as a variant. But Hela's not a card I have. I literally have the Pixel and this one. I only have 2 variants for her. So they just haven't made a lot. This came from this could end up being in that new community, that spotlight thing that we're supposed to be getting soon. Weirdly, it must be. I don't know what happened there. Or else there's an error somewhere down there, maybe with the card. I don't know. But yeah, it's very weird. So anyway, yeah. So that is thanks to thanks to thanks to @GenX21_Chiz for recommending the Venomized variants to me for my top 5 list. So thank you so much. All right, next up here we have coming soon. So I got a quick little look into November. So we got a coming soon section this week, and a quick little look into November. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I'm sure I'm going to be doing this on future episodes too. And also, by the way, which should be out today, I have done a podcast, a collaboration with Nick the Greek Geek. Him and I did a show last night. He is busy putting it together. He's done all the graphics and all that kind of stuff. He's really, really good with all that. And he has put everything together. He's editing it all today. Should be out sometime later, which will be on YouTube and also on Spotify as well. So stay tuned for that. But I'm sure he and I will be going over a lot of the November cards, maybe even in the next episode of that, which is going to be once a week as well. Or not next week. I'm sorry. He's on vacation, so the week after. But let's take a quick look. So we have the season pass card for November. This is Serter. Serter is a 3/5. After you play a card with 10 plus power, this gains 3 power. Pretty good card, I think. I think this is going to be good. I think you can get this pretty quickly up to like a 3, probably easily a 3/11. If you're playing the decks I was playing, the Black Knight decks, this could really go in those decks because your intent is to, get a 4/10 Ebony Blade, maybe from a Black Cat that you're going to be able to play. You're going to be able to play like a bigger card at the end of the game. I think that also has, What else is in the deck? Atuma's in there. Scar is in there, so you can get this guy up pretty big. And imagine, even if you get 2 procs, he's a 311. That's pretty darn good. That's a pretty darn good season pass card. So I think he's going to be fun. It could possibly be OP. Yeah, it could be. They might have to tone him down a bit, because if people can play those decks, the Black Knight decks especially, because you have Ghost Rider in there. The Ghost Rider can pull out a big card as well. So you might end up having 4 10+ cards out on the board at any one time. And so right there, that is 3, 6, 9, 12. He's up 317, which is insane. And you can play him last too, because he can go out the very last turn in the game on turn 6 and just, put him down. And he's just huge. So, yeah, it's possible. This could maybe even get changed maybe beforehand, because they still can change these before it starts. But we'll see. But in any case, looks like a fun season pass. Next is Frigga. She's a 3/3. On reveal, add a copy of the last card you played to your hand, if able. I mean, pretty good, right? She's kind of like that location that does that. There's that location that does that. Like the last card in your hand gets you draw it again 2 turns in a row. I mean, you could think of all kinds of uses for that, right? Any card that you want to bring in twice, a White Widow, a Black Widow, even like a Athena or a Kitty Pryde or anything like that. I think she'll be an okay card. I'm not going to say she's my favorite card of the month, but I think she'll be okay. I think it's pretty good. It is on reveal on turn 3. So, yeah, I mean, you could use it to just have another copy of something. If you're playing, I don't know if you want to destroy that, but if you're playing destroy and you want like 2 Venoms, would be pretty cool. But yeah, there's probably a lot of uses for that. I could see it being okay. Next one is Malekith. We know him from Thor 2: The Dark World, if you know him from the movies and not the comics. He's a 4/6. On reveal, add a 1, 2, or 3 cost card from your deck here. It reveals at the end of the game. So you're able to pull out a 1, 2, or 3 cost card from your deck. Now, again, useful. It doesn't come out till the end of the game. So you are going to have to deck build around this, thinking that something you're going to want to come out last. I don't know, maybe put, even if you just want raw power, put like a Ebony Maw in your deck, and maybe he plays the Ebony Maw on your last. Well, no, he can't, can he? I don't know. I don't know if that would work with Ebony Maw or not. But it seems like a card you're gonna have to work around. This one seems like you're gonna have to work around. This one might be my worst card of the month. He seems interesting, but I just don't know what that's anything that's gonna be like crazy good. So. All right, we've got Fenris Wolf. He is a 2/3. This one's been changed. Activate Resurrect the highest power discarded or destroyed enemy card to your side of this location. That's pretty good. He has an activate ability, and he's going to resurrect. So if they discard a high power card, right, and then you're going to get it over to your side of this location. So who knows? I mean, discard decks are getting rid of certain things all the time. Maybe they discard something huge that you're going to want, and then all of a sudden you bring it over to your side. With Shang-Chi. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, because you can, if they discard their Shang, then you get Shang-Chi. Yeah, it is pretty sick. So we'll see if it stays. Again, all these are kind of subject to change. We don't know if they're going to stay the way they are. But they are all subject to change. This wolf, by the way, if you're not sure who this is the pet wolf that Hela had in Thor Ragnarok, in case you're wondering why they would make a wolf. But that is who he is. He is that gigantic wolf that Hela had in Thor Ragnarok. So, War of the Realms, by the way, this season is called. And then we have Gore the God Butcher, who they butchered in Marvel in the MCU. He was just terrible. He is a 6/1, and he is ongoing +2 power for each on reveal card in play. Negatives like in this, for sure. He's going to be a 0/6. And also it helps on reveals, which they like to do. Thor's Giving. No, they didn't use Thor's Giving. Damn it. It's called the War of the Realms. Yeah, I know. I would have loved that. That they should have done that. That would have been much better than Thor's Giving. Yes, I agree. I was hoping that would be the case, but no. Now, the God Butcher and another card coming up may be, remember, we have Deadpool's Diner coming up. So one of these cards is going to be in Deadpool's Diner. I just don't know which. But Gore could very well be in Deadpool's Diner. I liked his text that was data mined before this one. He has been in data mines forever, and I liked when the text. I liked what he did better. I think it was better for his ability. He killed all. Now he was OP for sure. He was OP. He killed all 6 cost cards on the board. Every 6 cost card just dies when he was in play. So very OP. So I knew he wasn't coming out that way, but I like that much better than this. This is okay. This is okay. I mean, he could get quite big depending on how many on reveals are out there. But yeah, so cool character in the comics. Very, very cool character. I loved him a lot more in the comics than I did in the movie. And no offense to Christian Bale. He's a great actor, but I just don't think they had a very good script written for that movie. It was just too funny, over the top humor. And it just didn't fit the theme of having him as your main villain. He should have been in, he should have been in a little bit of a darker Thor, was my opinion on it. And then we have LaFay. LaFay is a 4/5. Nobody knows how to pronounce this. It's LaFay. People pronounce them Laufey or Laufey. It's LaFay. He is the king of the ice gods, I believe. He's a 4/5. On reveal, steal 1 power from each other card here. So if somebody has a full lane, you play him in the full lane, he ends up a 4/9. Not horrible. I could see this being a diner card. I could see this being a diner card because it's just, I don't know. Maybe they'll do 2 cards this month. Maybe they'll give 2 cards in the diner this month. And I could certainly see Laufey being one of them because he's okay, but he doesn't. This card looks to me, this smells to me like a Series 4 card. If they were doing High Voltage again, I would say that this is a Series 4 card. That would be coming up because he looks like a Series 4 card to me. 4/9 is not great. It's not great. So, I mean, you are stealing power too, so they're going down in power. So, I guess he could win a lane in that way. He's kind of like ManThing maybe a little bit, but again, it's okay. It's not a great card. And then lastly, King Eitri. We know him. He was played in Ragnarok as well by Peter Dinklage. He is the one who makes the hammers. So they could see him there making Thor's hammer. He also makes Stormbreaker and all that kind of stuff. He's interesting. Again, I don't know. There are going to be some cards that are not going to be released in the normal Spotlight caches. There's going to be a card for Deadpool's Diner. I don't know which one it is. This is a 1/2. Activate another activate card. Draw a card that did not start in your deck. He's really good for Thors. If you want to get a Thor deck ready, he's really, really good for the Thors. You always had to play Jane Foster and hope you got Jane after you played your Thors to get the hammers. And if you didn't get her, well, now you have another way to do it. So he's really, really good for that. You might see Thor Lockjaw come back with this card because he's, you can constantly roll him through Lockjaw, right? And get the hammers back and get him back and get, you know what I mean? Like, so you keep getting the hammers back. So he might end up being the one that brings the Thor's deck back, especially with Lockjaw in there. And you can activate him, bring the hammers out. And then I wonder if he comes back. Now, see, that I don't know. If he came back in the Lockjaw lane again, right? Like if you rotate him in Lockjaw and then he comes back in Lockjaw, could you activate him again? I would say you probably could, right? I would think you probably can. And if that's the case, you're going to keep continuing to get those hammers back around. So this card looks like it could be a little sick, especially in that deck. Cards that didn't start in your deck. Trying to think of what else that would work with besides the Thors. You don't think you could activate again? I don't know. I don't know how that would work. I've never tried like an activate card in a Lockjaw. Maybe it can only be done once period. You might be right. But yeah, either way, he's pretty cool having another alternative. Only works on Only works once. Yeah. Okay. But well, either way, it's still cool. You can still play Jane Foster with him, obviously, and you're gonna have an easy one cost card. In fact, yeah, I mean, look, you could play Jane Foster turn 5. Yeah, but then you're playing on turn 6. So you'd have to get the Thors out pretty early. You'd want to probably play him on maybe turn 4. Get him on turn 4. And then yeah, I don't know. I don't know that you'd want both. He's just a better Jane Foster, I think. Not a lot of power, but I think he's just better. Bounce. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, you could play like a Thor's bounce deck and do it that way. Yeah, I don't know. Well, no, because you're talking like in bounce where he only activates once. Yeah, no. Yeah, sorry, I didn't understand what you meant. But I don't know. King Eitri looks like a pretty fun card, especially if you're into Thor's decks. And I'm sure other people will find another way to use him. So, but yeah, so that is your cards for the month. There is the season pass. You can see 2 Serter. It's a Serter's regular card, the Serter variant. You can see a Thor in there that's coming, another Odin. We're getting a gold border, the expensive gold border too. And then we're getting the card backs, the Serter card back and the Gore the God Butcher card back, which is kind of cool. And then, of course, you're getting the avatars as well. So, right. So that is a look ahead into November. And we are now going to talk about this week's new card. The Thor is nice. Yeah, the Thor is really nice. So this week's new card we're going to talk all about. And the new card is in Comics Corner first. And we're going to talk about the new card this week. And that is Toxin. Again, I'll preface this by saying I don't know a lot about these symbiotes. I had to go back and I had to read them because I did not know much about any of them, really. Didn't read a lot of them. A lot of them are based from Carnage books and stuff like that. So I don't know much about them, so I had to read up on it myself. But there is. That is today's card is Toxin. There's a lot of people that are saying that he's like their people's favorite symbiote. He even teamed up with Spider-Man at one point, which is kind of crazy. But he's cool the way he looks, the half black, the half red. And I kind of feel bad for the person whose head he's squeezing there on the front of that comic book. And that is Toxin's own comic book number 1. Yeah. And then, of course, we have him here. Looks much, much different here. Like half black, half red again, but looks a lot more like just the Spider-Man in his face there, but also even a little more like Carnage, which you were going to find out that that's who he spawned from. And there's another cool looking comic book. This is also his limited series. This is book 3 called Son of Carnage. And you can see the black and the black pants and stuff like that, and then the red kind of stuff dripping from the front. All right, so there's a nice panel of him there with all his teeth sticking out and his nice green tongue. Not to mention hired armored enforcers. That guardsman almost fired on us. That's yeah. So that was when I guess people were firing at him in the book. All right, gonna go through this. Toxin is a fictional character appearing in Marvel Comics. He's been depicted as a superhero and at times a supervillain. The character is the offspring of Carnage. So he was an offspring of Carnage, third major symbiote in the Marvel Universe, the 9th known to have appeared in the comics outside of the Planet of Symbiote storyline, and the first symbiote that Spider-Man considers an ally, despite several temporary alliances with Venom in the past. The Toxin symbiote's various hosts are former NYPD police officer Patrick Mulligan. That's the one that is most common. Eddie Brock was also together with Toxin at one point, and teenager Bren Waters. So, but Patrick Mulligan is the one we're going to be focused on, and that's the one he is mostly. And you can see first appearance, Patrick Mulligan, Venom Carnage number 1 in September 2004 as Toxin, Venom Carnage number 2, October 2004 as Eddie Brock, Venom number 17 in May 2012, and as Bren Waters, King in Black, Planet of Symbiotes in April 2021. He was created, oops. Let me go back there. Wow, I got up there. Okay. He's created by Peter Milligan. I wonder if he named the police officer after himself. Mulligan Milligan. That's kind of cool. Peter instead of Patrick. I bet you he did. And Clayton Crane is the artist. So Peter Milligan was your writer. Clayton Crane was the artist. Alter egos, Patrick Mulligan, NYPD, Eddie Brock, like we said, and then he was in the task force as well. alias as he's the son of Carnage. His abilities, again, very similar to the rest of the symbiotes. Superhuman strength, speed, agility, stamina, durability, endurance, and reflexes, organic webbing, regenerative healing factor, cleaning the most surfaces, limited shape-shifting, including the ability to shape-shift his limbs into weapons and camouflage like Carnage does. Immunity to spider sense as well as Venom and Carnage tracking him down. Fangs and claws appear when he's angry or in danger. Now that pretty much only Carnage does that. So he has similar attributes to Carnage. Carnage produced an offspring, a third symbiote. Carnage felt only dislike and hatred towards this new spawn, even before giving birth to it, both fearing that it could become much stronger and generally disgusted at the thought of giving birth. At the same time, Venom became aware that Carnage was pregnant and sought out Carnage to talk about his new symbiote. Carnage had resolved to kill the spawn as soon as it was born. Venom was doing his best to protect it with the intention of raising it to become a new partner. Venom was also concerned that as the 1,000th symbiote of their line, the new symbiote could potentially become psychotic and violent because of a genetic breakdown. And this goes on to explain Patrick Mulligan, one of New York City's finest policemen. He had trouble with personal problems. His stressful job, along with the strain of his new family, his wife Gina was pregnant with their first son, were taking in their toll. One night while on duty, he came across the site where Carnage was giving birth to the symbiote. Carnage, needing a host to hide the symbiote to keep it from Venom, bonded it to Mulligan. Carnage resolved to kill both Mulligan and the symbiote since they were not yet strong enough to manifest a superpowered costume like Venom and Carnage symbiotes. Venom still hoped to use this new symbiote as a partner and fought Carnage to a standstill to protect Mulligan and the symbiote, whom he christened Toxin after himself. At first, Mulligan did not realize what had happened to him. Before long, the Toxin symbiote had mutated enough to gain both conscious thought and the strength to form a symbiote costume on Mulligan's body. After Carnage attacked Gina and Edward at their home, Mulligan realized that the Toxin symbiote was a danger to both himself and his family. During a subsequent confrontation between Venom, Carnage, and Toxin, Venom realized Mulligan was dedicated to a life of virtue, or as close as he could come under the symbiote's influence. When it became clear that Toxin was easily as strong as either of his predecessors and was still growing, Venom and Carnage formed a temporary pact to destroy Toxin. 2005, Spider-Man joined the New Avengers. Marvel introduced a team, a 6-issue Toxin limited series, which is what I showed you earlier, which followed Toxin's battles with various supervillains escaped from the Raft as a result of events at the beginning of the New Avengers series. It's also portrayed Mulligan's constant battle to keep the Toxin symbiote under control, as the host and symbiote minds had conversations and arguments with each other. Throughout the miniseries, he battled King Cobra, the Wrecker, Pile Driver, and Razor Fist. At one point, trying to live with the Toxin symbiote became too much for him, who attempted suicide by throwing himself in front of a train. The Toxin symbiote intervened at the last moment, saving Mulligan and claiming that Mulligan did not really want to die. When Mulligan pressed the issue, it became clear that unlike Venom or Carnage symbiotes, Toxin is not sure it could survive on its own and find a new host. In the limited series, Razor Fist murdered Mulligan's father, but Toxin begins to show signs of heroic behavior, tracked Razor Fist down rather than slaughtering, as both the Toxin symbiote and Razor Fist himself urge. Toxin controls himself and turns Razor Fist over to the police. Mulligan reconciled to Gina by introducing his estranged wife to the Toxin symbiote as a way of explaining why he walked out on his family. Mulligan and the Toxin symbiote cooperate peacefully with an agreement. Mulligan will be in complete control if he allows Toxin 2 hours of playtime. 2 hours of playtime each night, but in those 2 hours, Toxin is not allowed to commit any acts of grand theft, arson, or homicide. Mulligan is finally killed by Blackheart, resulting in the Toxin symbiote appearing in an underground lab in Las Vegas. And then, of course, it goes over his time with Eddie Brock. He was also with Eddie Brock for a while. And Bren, she was in King in Black, of course, we heard. Toxin is now bonded with a new host teenager, Bren Waters, the son of the new guardsman, Oscar Waters. The two have a brief scuffle. He was in a movie. He was in the Venom Let There Be Carnage film, portrayed by Stephen Graham. This version is a San Francisco Police Department detective who wears a hearing aid. Due to a past encounter with Francis Barrison while working as an officer in the present, he attempts to use Eddie Brock to investigate Cletus Cassidy, but is seemingly killed during a battle between the Venom and Carnage symbiotes and Barrison. However, he absorbs a piece of one of the symbiotes, which later revives him and causes his eyes to glow blue. So there you go. He was in the Let There Be Carnage movie, which I didn't even know. I was in some video games. I was in Marvel War of Heroes. That was the Patrick Mulligan incarnation. The Eddie Brock incarnation was in Marvel Heroes. Toxin symbiote named Carnom appears as a playable character in Boss and Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. Patrick Mulligan and Eddie Brock incarnations appeared as playable characters in Spider-Man Unlimited. Bren Waters' incarnation appears in as a playable character in Marvel Future Fight. So he's in a bunch of video games. All right. There you go. There you have it. So, and we're going to just look at Toxin really quickly. I thought I had the slides, but that was my bad. I think I just forgot them. And so let's look at Toxin, shall we? I'm going to open up my app. And we'll get a look at Toxin here. He is going to be a go to newest, but it's not bringing out. Never mind. I got to clear the filter. There we go. He is a 2/1 Series 5 card. On reveal, return your other cards here to your hand, +2 power for each card returned. He is a bounce card. Pretty plain and simple. I don't know that anyone else is going to use it. Maybe somewhere like maybe a move deck to avoid getting your big cards blown up, like a Human Torch or something like that. Maybe work in a Phoenix Force deck, but I don't know. But he is for sure a move or a bounce card, and he's a good bounce card. And this is the one I think that many people have been waiting for this season. And this one is the one I had as my #1 ranked card for this season. For what he does, return your other cards here to your hand, +2 power for each return. I mean, if you return a full lane, that's 2, 4, 6. He's a 2/7. And then you can even bounce him. So you can use Beast and Toxin in the same deck. Beast can then bounce him back. Now you can play him again on another full lane, which is just going to be disgusting because he's going to be a 2/14. So King in Black, yeah, well, sure. King in Black's a pretty good story, and apparently, they're going to be doing King in Black, supposedly, according to rumor, in the next Spider-Man film, which is going to be the first working union of Sony and Marvel together, where they're both going to be involved. Now, yes, Sony allowed Tom Holland's Spider-Man to be in Doctor Strange. So that was they kind of worked together a little bit, but Sony really had no input. In King in Black, they're literally working together with Marvel to produce that film, and it's pretty much all but confirmed. So yeah, I would read it because it's definitely worth a read. There's been several null wars that have happened in the comics over the course of the year, or over the course of the years rather. But King in Black is probably the best one of them. So just for the fact that you know that that's coming out in movie film or movie form at some point, they're going to be, and that's happening also in between Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. So there's going to be like a lot of massive things going on there. They're also saying that could be when Tom Holland gets the symbiote from Hardy. So I would read it. Yeah, I would definitely recommend to read it for sure. But yeah, not much to say about this guy who's not going to. Oh, he kind of looks 3D on my screen. Check that out. Wow, the green screen makes him look 3D. There he is. If you're not a bounce player, I really don't know that you're going to want this card, or I really don't know if you're going to play this card. No, the symbiotes. I would. Let me look for you. Let me check for you because honestly. Let me check for you which book it was in. First, if I could spell. Wow, okay. Null first appeared in Thor, God of Thunder, #6. So he was in a Thor comic. Identity Unrevealed. So that was probably just only a little tiny glimpse at him. I wouldn't bother with that one. Venom Volume 4, #3 from August 2018 was his first full appearance. So Venom Volume 4, #3 in August 2018. So Venom from August 2018 was his first full appearance in the comics. He's an Elder God. He was created by Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman. Yeah, that was his first full appearance was in that Venom book. So yeah, no, hold on. Let me see. Let me see when King in Black came out. King in Black came out. Now you can find King in Black in graphic novel form. Was published in 2020, 2021. And it's a continuation to 2019's Absolute Carnage. And in the story, Nolan and the symbiotes invade Earth, which makes a lot of sense with Venom, right? The next Venom movie, because that's what's happening. Leaving Eddie Brock and Venom, the Avengers, the X-Men, and numerous other superheroes to protect it. So yeah, so that was when it came out. And so yeah, it does kind of make sense that it's going to fall in line with Spider-Man. Yippee ki-yay! Hello, I want to see a Sentry and Null team up book. You can call it Null in the Void. Ironically, Sentry ends up ripping Carnage in half. He literally tears Carnage in half at some point and totally just destroys Carnage, rips him to shreds. And that's a hell of a comic book panel too. I'm a big fan of Sentry. I'm excited when Thunderbolts comes out to see him. I hope they do show him. They only show him as Bob in the trailer, but I hope they do show him in the costume. And maybe at the end of the movie we'll get it. But that also, another rumor with that one, well, I guess it's pretty good time to talk about it because we're in the MCU minute anyway. But that is now supposed to be leading into Dark Avengers. That and the reason why when you see the Thunderbolts title, that little asterisk is next to the title, that is more than likely because they're going to morph into the Dark Avengers. And why that title has the asterisk, because they're not going to be called the Thunderbolts. They're going to turn into Dark Avengers. So Sentry was part of that. So that would just make sense if they're gonna go forward with that. So okay. All right, let's get into, we're going to wrap this one up and we're going to get into the MCU part of the show. So let's get into the MCU minute. There was a lot of stuff at Comic-Con this past weekend that happened in New York City. So Marvel did have a panel, mostly comic books, but they did announce some cool comic titles that are coming out next year, including a title called The 7 Deaths of Spider-Man, and Dr. Doom is involved in that. So, but a lot of cool comics are introduced, so you can go check that out if you look up the NYCC 24 comic news. But this was actually shown. The new trailer for Daredevil Born Again was shown there, and there is one on YouTube. It's a little hard to read through the logo the guy put on there, but or watch through the logo, but this is going to be awesome. I cannot wait for this. Kingpin knows Matt Murdock is Daredevil, which means season 3 is officially canon. And yeah, this is definitely Marvel canon now. They're also talking about bringing Luke Cage back. The same actor that played Iron Fist is supposed to be in Shang-Chi 2, which makes sense that he would be there. And then, of course, Jessica Jones, the actress who played her, is supposedly coming back also. But this one has Punisher, John Barenthal's Punisher. Of course, D'Onofrio's Kingpin, Daredevil, Foggy Nelson's back. All of the cast of characters are back from the other seasons, and this looks like it's just going to be awesome. I cannot wait to see this. It looks like it's going to be absolutely incredible. No punches pulled. This is an R-rated series on Disney Plus. So you're going to have the violence, you're going to have blood, you're going to have all that good stuff, cursing. Yes, it's all going to be there when it comes out next summer. So I am very, very excited. Bullseye is in the trailer. Yep. Bullseye is in the trailer. White Tiger is in the trailer. So Marvel's version of White Tiger we finally get to see. And the villain, I'm going to look up the villain because he's been in comics. He's creepy too. Let me look and see. But he's Muse. The character's name is Muse. So I'm sure Snap will probably have a Daredevil set or a Daredevil themed season when this comes out. we're gonna have a lot of cool sets next year, guys, because we're gonna get we're gonna get a set for Thunderbolts probably. Now a lot of the Thunderbolts are already in Snap, so but we're gonna get we might get some stuff from the comics. We're also gonna get a set for the Brave New World, the Captain America thing. We're gonna get a set for Fantastic Four, which, you know, all those characters are in there too, but you have others that could go in there. You have like Herbie the Robot from the old cartoon. You have other things that they could put in there. Mole Man hasn't been given a card. Like a lot of the Fantastic Four stuff that can get put in there. And we're going to more than likely get a Daredevil one too. And so you have Muse that can go in there for sure. They do not have him in the game yet. Bullseye can certainly come in at that point too. Although I think he's slated for Dark Avengers that's coming next year. I did get to see like the 3 next. And I got to give credit where it's due. I got this all from Rez Snapper. Rez Snapper did a video today of the upcoming sets that are coming out, and it's going to be in December. It's supposed to be the Marvel Rivals set that's coming. So you're going to get Marvel Rivals stuff coinciding with, I guess, their big release. So you're going to get that in December. In January, I want Galacta. Galacta's going to be in it. Yeah, let's go. In January, it's supposed to be Dark Avengers, which we could end up getting Norman Osborn's Iron Man from that, and a bunch of others that we haven't gotten yet. And then, of course, in February, we're going to have the Captain America Brave New World set that's coming out. So a lot of exciting stuff happening in Marvel next year. And you know when that happens, there's going to be a lot of exciting things that are going to happen in the game. So we may very well get a Daredevil series. So, again, you could have Muse. You could have Night Nurse could possibly be in that because she had a card data mine forever, as did Bullseye. So they both might be in the Daredevil set that are coming up. So a lot of cool stuff coming up next year. And Daredevil is one I'm definitely looking forward to. How about this? We got our first picture of the new Sue Storm. So this is the actress who's playing Sue, which I need to look her up to because, of course, I'm unprepared. But let me look up her name real quick. This is the actress who's playing her. It's Vanessa Kirby. So she, of course, is playing Sue, and you can see her there in her 60s regalia. They are, of course, in a time period where they're in their own universe. Some are saying they got lost in this universe, that they don't belong there. And the people there don't necessarily know if they like having them wherever they showed up on that Earth in the 60s, but they are in the 1960s, and she's wearing a short orange skirt, which makes a lot of sense, and those thigh-high boots. But there she is for the very first time. This is on set. This is a photo of Susan Storm from the upcoming Fantastic Four film, which I cannot wait to see for more reasons than one. And Galactus is the big one. But yeah, very cool. Starting to see a lot of these. This is currently in production and being filmed overseas in England. And yeah, so I can't be more excited for this. It's going to be awesome. The summer, guys, is going to be 3 Marvel films this year. The Daredevil series. That's just in Marvel. And then in the summertime, we're getting the new Superman film from DC that's being done by James Gunn. You guys know him from Guardians of the Galaxy movies. So it's going to be next year is going to be a hell of a year if you are a comic book or superhero fan. And then, of course, confirms next R-rated entry. And then, of course, that is Daredevil. It is the series is definitely going to be rated R for all the violence and blood and gore and all that kind of stuff, for sure. And then I'm trying to think. I heard a couple. Did I hear a couple little things? I think I told you last week that Robert Downey's only slated to play Doom for a couple of films. Tom Holland's been signed on for a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah. And then, of course, we still have Agatha. Agatha just keeps getting better and better, man. Last week's one had a whole bunch of backstory about Wiccan and Billy and all that kind of stuff. It's been really good. If you're not watching it, I would definitely suggest doing it. It is going to definitely play into what's going to happen with probably Scarlet Witch, what's going to happen with Vision Quest, what's going to happen with all those characters and more. And are we going to see Speed? Are we going to see Wiccan's brother at some point too in this series? We might, because I think it's got maybe tomorrow's episode, they might reveal that what he is searching for, what Billy is looking for, is indeed his brother. And so we might get that before the end of the series. It's going to be another huge reveal too, guys. Just saying. I could spoil it, but I won't. I know what it is, but I won't spoil it. But there's going to be another big reveal in that series too. So keep watching it. It's going to be awesome. All right. That is going to just about do it here for me, I believe, for this week in Marvel, for this week in Snap Decisions. First thing first, please make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. If you are indeed watching it there, please drop a like. Drop me some comments as well. I always love the comments. If you have any ideas for my top 5 list, please let me know. Any suggestions or thoughts or anything on the podcast, let me know that too. If you're listening on audio, thank you so much. I love my audio peeps. And make sure that you review the podcast, which helps me out on Apple. I know you could do that on Apple. Make sure you could leave comments now on Spotify podcast as well. So make sure you do that for me also. And then as far as what I've got coming up, tomorrow night at around the 7 o'clock hour or so, and we'll be out on YouTube and Spotify and all that good stuff at about 9 or 9:30. I have content creator Robitussin coming on my show. I popped in on one of his streams the other day. Little Robitussin, of course. He's going to pop in on my show tomorrow night. So he and I are going to chat. He was playing heavy metal music, so I know we're going to be able to talk about music because I'm a metal fan too. But yeah, we'll be talking to him tomorrow. And then OTA report is coming up on Thursday. So I will either have something on my channel, could be like a quick 15-minute video, like I did the one time for that, or it might just be, probably will be a quick 15-minute video on the YouTube channel, just a little short. And then that'll be on audio for people as well. Just a really small thing to review all the OTA changes. And also, please make sure, should be a little bit later tonight, to check out the new podcast called Two Dudes Snapping. That is our title, Two Dudes Snapping. That is myself and that is Nick, the Greek Geek, are doing a combined podcast. Probably going to be doing this thing every week. So you can count on it coming out every week. More than likely will be on Wednesday. Now, Nick is doing all the graphics and stuff like that. He's working on stuff today. But we talked about a lot of stuff yesterday, went on some tangents, of course, talked a little bit about Magic the Gathering, talked about comic books, which is going to be a permanent part of that show. And the reason why we're doing it is because, well, I had him on the show and we just kind of hit it off. We had a lot of things in common, especially our love for comic books and Marvel and all that good stuff. So he and I are going to do this collab. Now I will let you know. I think the first episode is going to be on my YouTube channel, but we'll see. I'm not sure if but eventually we're going to have our own for it, and of course then it will be on audio and stuff as well. So make sure you check out Two Dudes Snapping, where we just had a blast doing the show last night. So that should be out a little bit later today, and I'll let you know on Twitter. By the way, if you're one of the people who are exodusing, I don't even know if that's a word, but whatever. If you are taking an exodus from Twitter, there are a whole bunch of content creators, including myself, that are over on the new Blue Sky app. Blue Sky is almost exactly like Twitter in its format, but no frills, no drama, no any of that. Now, whether it will get drama at some point, maybe, but it's just kind of starting out. But if any of you are kind of sick of Twitter, head over to Blue Sky, download it. You'll find that it looks almost exactly like Twitter, and it's very easy to use, very similar to it. But a lot of myself, I know Dexter followed me on there, so Dexter's on there. Lauren Whatevs is on there. A lot of content creators are on there. Kier Nimbus, who's been on my show, are over there now. So if you want something a little different and you're kind of sick of the crap from Twitter, head over to Blue Sky. You can follow me there. I am very easy to find. I am just Snap Decisions with the capital SNAP. There I am right there. So if you come over to the other side on Blue Sky, please follow me over there. Follow me on Twitter as well. I'm still there. And yeah, that's where I do most of my posts and all that good stuff. So it's a good day in Snap, man. I got my new Galactus variant. I'm a happy camper. And it was a fun week to play Marvel Snap with the new high voltage and all that good stuff going on. Still a lot of good stuff to come. Deadpool's Diner 2. I think they're going to make that better. And maybe we get 2 cards. Like I said, with those new cards next month, maybe we get 2 cards. this time in Deadpool's Diner next time instead of just the one, which would be really cool. So that's coming up. We have character mastery coming up down the road, maybe possibly by the end of the year. I am super excited for that. With all my Galactus splits and all my Death splits and all my Null splits and all that I have, I know I'm going to have a lot of that mastery already done. So I'm excited for character mastery big time. So I'm going to borrow the line from Alex Gocha. I listen to him and Cozy a lot and almost every week. It is a great time to be a Marvel Snap player. And I'll leave you all with that. Have a great week, guys, in Snap, whatever you choose to do. If you still are getting the ladder and stuff like that, enjoy Toxin if you're getting him. Enjoy Bounce if that's what you're going to choose to play. But enjoy Snap however you can. Hope you all got your high voltage stuff. And yeah, just keep playing, man. Just keep playing. Enjoy the game. Have a blast with it. And I'm going to see Venom, the next Venom movie. I think it's next week I'm going to see it because I heard there's going to be some amazing post-credit scenes which are going to lead into the whole Null thing and everything with Spider-Man. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Thank you all for coming out. Yippee-ki-yay. Thank you, Blaze1. Thank you for being in chat. I appreciate you. Anyone who is watching now, I know there's 6 of you watching at least that are out there watching me. I appreciate all of you. I am at some point, guys, I promise you, I'm going to get this to a point where I'm going to make in fact, you know what I want you guys to do? Those of you who are listening right now, so the people that are listening in the chat and that are watching live, please let me know what, in fact, I might put a poll up for this on Twitter. What time do you think is a good time to do my show on a Tuesday? It has to be on a Tuesday, but I'm going to give some choices. So go ahead and vote. But what time, please let me know in the comments as well under the video. What time do you all think is a good time to do this? Because I don't like doing it after 3 o'clock because that's when the new card comes out. And that's when a lot of the content creators are playing, right? They're all playing Snap to play with the new card. And so I don't like doing it this late. This was an emergency today. It just had to be this way. Normally, I like to keep it at 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the afternoon Eastern time. But let me know what time would be a good time for you guys to listen to the show. I would very much appreciate it. All right. Have a great rest of your day in Snap and also whatever you're doing. Please stay safe. Be kind to one another always. And hopefully I will see you all for the next edition of Snap Decisions. This is your Snap DJ signing off.
If only I had Spidey senses.